Hello and welcome to Mickeyology, where we take Disney a little too seriously. I'm Austin Rafael. Last week we examined Disney's 1967 animated classic, The Jungle Book. However, that film isn't the only Jungle Book adaptation Disney's made. In 2016, Disney released a live-action remake of the animated film, telling the story of Mowgli to a new generation. But when and where does this Mowgli story take place? Does the new film have the same setting as the old one, or did Disney update the setting along with the plot and characters? Let's examine the clues and find out. Anytime you have a movie featuring wild animals in their natural habitat, you can identify the animal species, find out where their habitat is, and thereby identify where the film takes place. The Jungle Book is no different. In the book The Art of the Jungle Book, we learn that Kaa is an Indian rock python, which are native to India. We also learn that Raksha is based on a Himalayan wolf, which is native to northern India. And we learn that Shere Khan is a Bengal tiger, which is also native to India and its surrounding regions. Therefore, it seems obvious that the film must take place somewhere in India. That's a start, but where exactly in India does the film take place, and when? To find out, let's look at the dialogue. After the monkeys kidnap Mowgli, they take him to their stone temple to meet King Louie, an enormous ape who, like any polite person would, takes the time to get to know Mowgli before breaking into song and demanding the secret to fire. Louie asks Mowgli where he's from.
You, Manco, you come from the south, the north? What part of the jungle?
The south, I guess?
Southern jungle, Siani. Beautiful. I hear. I'd never been there myself.
Mowgli says he's from the Siani. Now, the Siani is a real place in central India, and later on in the movie, Mowgli confirms that it's his home.
I'm Mowgli the Siani, and this is my home!
We now know beyond a doubt where the film takes place, in and around the Siani in India. All that's left now is to determine when the film takes place. Louie offers us a clue to that puzzle as well, because he says that he's a Gigantopithecus. Gigantopithecus was a real species of ape that is now extinct. If Louie is one, then maybe the movie takes place just before his species went extinct. All that we have to determine is when that extinction happened. So, when did Gigantopithecus die out? The answer? Between 215 and 295,000 years ago. By that logic, the Jungle Book takes place around the dawn of humankind, before man villages and stone temples like we see in the movie would have existed. Therefore, it seems pretty clear that King Louie is an anachronism and the Jungle Book doesn't actually take place that early. But then when does it take place? Well, the movie offers very little information on that. Besides Mowgli, the only humans we see in the movie are his father, very briefly, and the villagers, very briefly. We don't see enough of them to determine what period they're all living in. With so few clues to work with inside the film, it looks like we'll have to turn to some clues outside the film. When Disney chose to remake their animated version of The Jungle Book, they chose Jon Favreau as director. Favreau was intrigued by the project, but he knew that directly translating the animated musical into live action wouldn't work.
You couldn't really take the G-rated kids musical and make it live action. I think it would have been odd.
Instead, he and his team sought to blend the '67 film with the book that inspired it.
When I was hired, Alan Horn, who hired me as the head of Disney Studios, he grew up with the Kipling, and he always felt that there was an opportunity to lean more into the Kipling than the animated film had done.
According to The Art of the Jungle Book, Favreau and his team explored several sources of inspiration, from Rudyard Kipling's tales set in 19th century India to Disney's traditional animated version of The Jungle Book in 1967. The book goes on to say, the production team gathered thousands of photographs from various locales in India that had inspired Kipling's story. There are many references to the original Kipling book throughout the movie, many more than there are in the animated film. For example, the law of the jungle that the characters recite comes directly from Kipling. King Louis calls the monkeys Bandar log, which is what Kipling called the monkeys in his story, and Kipling also set his Mowgli stories in the C&E. Now, just because a book is set in a certain time and place doesn't automatically mean that a movie adaptation will have that same setting. However, in this case, Disney filmmakers were clearly trying to set their movie in the world of the book, and anyone who's read the book knows that it's full of tales that take place in India as it existed under British occupation. The British took control of India in 1858, and Kipling published The Jungle Book in 1894. So the setting of the book is late 19th century India, and that's the setting Disney filmmakers worked so hard to emulate as they brought their version of the book to the screen. Based on the movie's wildlife, dialogue, and statements from its filmmakers, I'm placing Disney's live-action version of The Jungle Book in India's C&E region in the late 19th century. So there you have it. That is my theory for when and where Disney's live-action Jungle Book takes place. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of my conclusions and when and where you think the movie takes place. Also, let me know which Disney movie you would like me to analyze next. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss another video and our channel has a chance to grow. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.